So taking a look at a second example for the type of equation where we're going to have to use simultaneous equations here. Charlie the squirrel is collecting nuts for winter. Each day the number of nuts he adds to his collection increases by the same amount. So again, increases by the same amount. Hint for me that I'm dealing with an arithmetic sequence. On the 7th day he has 126 nuts stashed in total. So on day 7, that's the total. So you'd be thinking sum. S7 is equal to 126. On the 11th day, he collects 53 nuts. Okay, so on day 11, he actually collects 53 nuts. So that's not the total, that's just the amount he collected on that day. So that's T11 is equal to 53. So, they want us to find on what day will he collect 93 nuts. So that's a Tn is equal to 93. We don't know that. Okay. So again, I don't know my A, I don't know my D, and I don't really have enough information to figure it out on my own, so I'm going to have to use simultaneous equations. So again, using my sum formula, I'm going to just substitute in what I know. For n equals 7, my Sn is 126, so I'm going to have 7 over 2 times bracket 2 times A plus 7 minus 1 times D. And for my formula here with the t's, I'm going to have 53 is equal to A plus 11 minus 1 times D. And that's just using the straightforward formulas that we've been given. Okay, so to use this I need to simplify these. So the first thing I'm going to do is just leave the 126. 7 divided by 2 becomes 3.5. 2 times A becomes 2A. 7 minus 1 becomes 6, and I have the D. And the 53 is going to be equal to the A, and 11 minus 1 becomes 10D. Okay, going one step further, we need to get rid of the brackets here, so we need to times that 3.5 through to everything. So I'm going to have 126 is equal to 7A, that's 3.5 times 2. And then I'm going to add 3.5 times 6, and in this case we get 21D. And this formula is already simplified as much as we can, but I want to remind you again, what's the invisible number in front of that A? In this case it's a 1, so that's 1A plus 10D. Okay, last step, we're just going to write it so that the equal sign is on the right hand side. So for our calculators, we can use 7A plus 21D is equal to 126, and we can use 1A plus 10D is equal to 53. And we will put these into solver using simultaneous equations. So, going from our menu, hitting equation, and we're going to use simultaneous equations. Again, there's two things we don't know. There's an A and a D we do not know, so we're going to use 2. And we're going to put the numbers in exactly in the order that we see them, 7, 21, and 126. So 7, 21, 126. And for the second equation, exactly as we see it, I have 1, 10, and 53. Okay. Oops. So that's exactly what we've got for our equations, and the next thing we do is just hit solve. And again, voila, it'll give us the answers. This first letter here, the X, is for the first letter that we were looking for in our equation. In this case, that's A. So I'm told that A is equal to 3. And the second letter, Y there, is in fact the second letter in our equation, which is D. So here, D is equal to 5. So I now know the difference and the first term. Okay, from here I can now solve pretty much anything. So on what day will he collect 93 nuts? Okay, so here I'm looking for on what day will he collect 93 nuts. So using my Tn formula, 93 is going to be equal to 3 plus a day I don't know, minus 1, times 5. And if we put this one into Solver, we should be able to get some information out, and let's see what we get. So just to run through that, go into Solver, oops, we were there, exit, exit, Solver, entering in exactly what we see. Looks like my computer's having a small freak out. Sorry. Okay, so 93 is equal to 3 plus bracket something I don't know minus 1 bracket times 5. Hit solve. And see what we get. That little square means it's thinking. And it comes up with 19. So, on the 19th day, he is going to stash 93 nuts. And that's our answer. So again, looking at this fact that we have not been given enough information to find A and D directly, so we need to write out the two equations, plug them into simultaneous equations, and then from that we'll get A and D, and then we can use our normal methods to find any other information that we've been asked for.